good morning, Eastern Oregon. Welcome to this October 23rd version of AM Live on EOA, your Eastern Oregon digital TV station. What do you think?
That's different.
That's different. Anyhow, yeah. Glad that you guys are here with us. If you want to find our content, if you go to EOA.network, that takes you to a link tree where you can find all of the different locations of our stuff. Glad that you guys are here with us. Here in just a little bit, we are going to have LeGrand Chief of Police Gary Bell is going to be here with us. So, how are you?
You can scan that QR code
Yep.
on the screen too if you're watching it on Roku. I mean, I think you can. There is an app where you can like scan a QR code with your phone while you're watching it on your phone, but I don't know how to do that. So
yeah.
That's a little tricky. I don't know.
It is a little more tricky, yeah.
But
it is happening, yeah.
I mean, you started your day today by throwing yourself a curveball. Like with
By doing that?
Yeah, doing the change.
No,
like,
no,
like,
see,
I'm
yeah.
gonna see if I can hit a curveball.
No,
today.
yeah, right, I know, but I've been working on different ideas.
I like it. I like it. Yeah.
And the reason is because, I mean, I like your connection to Eastern Oregon. We've been using that for years, but it doesn't, there's some people who still don't know who it is that we are and what we do. And,
I know.
Yeah.
I have people ask all the time, well, what do you do in here?
what do you do? Yeah.
Well, I mess around on my phone and play video games and talk smack.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
There-
Or at least the guy who came in yesterday thought that. He came in at lunchtime. I'm sitting there playing a video game. I'm on my phone and watching a YouTube video. He probably thought I was crazy, dude.
Yeah.
He just looked at. He was like probably 80, you know. And I didn't hear him come in, and he looks in there, and I was like, "Whoa, what do you do?" Like I didn't hear the dinger, and he was like, "What is going on here?"
Yeah. So are you ever a one device person, like watching TV or watching, you know?
Well,
I mean, I know you don't watch TV.
I mean, just because of the nature of what we do, and you know what? No, I mean, it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be like, what would the word be? It wouldn't be like very. What's that word? What's that word I'm looking for? It wouldn't be beneficial.
Okay.
For what I'm doing.
Yeah.
To not have.
Yeah.
You know, Facebook open here, Instagram, you know what I, or
Yeah.
vice versa, or email, you know what I mean? Like
But I mean, even when you're relaxing, are you still
I'm a two-devicer.
Yeah, see, and it's funny because Tanya and I are more and more two-device people. So even, I mean, I get the exception is if we're watching a movie and I move the couch up and we get popcorn and, you know, I mean, it's like, but I mean, oftentimes we'll be watching a show or TV and be like, what actor was that, you know,
and Google
what else
it
were
or
they
flipping
in?
through your phone.
Or, yeah, you know, and so it's, or sometimes if it's a show that, you know, she likes that I'm
Bored.
okay with,
Yeah.
then I'll, you know, or vice versa. So, yep, it's just kind of funny how.
Jerry Hopkins
have migrated.
says, "Good morning, Jerry." Bud Forrest says, "Multitasking." That's good. Well, you know, when I'm doing a game.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I know
I'm
you're
watching
crazy when you're doing games, yeah.
3 different Facebooks. I have my phone right here, and like last Friday I had 2 other games streaming.
Yeah.
So, and I'm flipping between them.
Yeah.
I mean, generally only 2 things on the screen and the phone.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I had 5 screens, I would fill all 5 of them.
And you have the replay screen going.
Yes.
Yeah. Or the game screen.
Yeah. So I'm seeing the game in real time here, and then on the computer I'm seeing it like 7 seconds behind.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely you'd have to. I had to spend a little bit of time getting used to all that. You know what I mean? It's still not 100% foolproof, but it works. I mean, it works.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, you want to do sports?
Let's do it.
Okay.
AM Sports Report brought to you by Northwest Furniture and Mattress. There's still time to experience crisp evenings, cozy layers, and unmatched comfort. Shop the final days of the fall savings event at Northwest Furniture and Mattress and save up to $800 on select Stearns & Foster adjustable mattress sets. Don't wait, the sale ends soon. Northwest Furniture and Mattress, Big Red Rocking Chair on Elm, off Adams in LeGrand. LHS girls soccer beat Baker 8-0, so that's a mercy rule in high school soccer. I don't know what time, how much was left in the second half when it happened, but 8-0 is when they stopped the game in high school soccer if you're up in the second half by at least 8 goals. That happened on Tuesday. They played Pendleton in Pendleton at 4 p.m. on Thursday the 30th. To end, and that's a big game for the girls. They've already locked up the GOL championship. They can't finish anything lower than first, but it's a big game for their rankings. Right now, they're sitting at 12 in the state, and so if you're sitting at 12, I think that means you play like the number 4 team or maybe the 5 team, and it would be a lot better if we could get into the top 8, I think, or 9, so we could play a team that's a little bit closer in rank. This girls' team's played a few ranked teams this year. We've had a couple tough losses. We lost to Malala a couple weeks ago. Malala's in the top, I think, 5. But, I talked with head coach Chris G about this. I don't ever try to say his last name. It's too... but it's not a talent thing for these girls. It's more of like they just need to get out of their own heads and be free and play soccer, because when they do that, they're really good. They're really good. LHS boys soccer lost 3-1 to Baker on Tuesday night and finished their regular season on the 30th at Pendleton as well. That game starts at 5:30. LHS volleyball goes to Ontario today in a big game. This volleyball team is making a little splash around the GOL. They beat Baker in a 5-set thriller last week, and there's a good chance they end up in second place in the GOL, which is really good. This volleyball team has gotten a lot better in the last couple months, and it's really impressive. That game tips off at 6:30 Mountain Time in Ontario today. The number 1 EOU volleyball hosts OIT tomorrow night at 6, and then Southern on Saturday at 4. It's one of their event weekends. I think one of the nights is a blackout, and the other night's I don't remember. They do a lot of weird stuff, but that atmosphere, if locally, you're not going to beat that atmosphere. Go up there to Quinn one of those nights and check it out if you haven't been. It's quite electrifying. The student section is loud. The place is packed, and EOU volleyball's very successful, and they're very good, and they're fun to watch. EOU men's and women's soccer are at home on Friday versus University of Providence. Women kick off at 4, men kick off at 6:30, and that's another one where they're starting to, as the more successful you get, especially at small colleges, the more people that come to your games. And both of these soccer teams are good. They've been good, they've been getting better every year. And the men's team is undefeated right now. We're 3/4 of the way through the season, and they haven't lost. And they're fun to watch. When I first started covering sports, I'm like, I'm not going to do nothing with soccer. That sport is boring. And now I find myself digging into the actual plays and the flow and how soccer works. And it's enjoyable. It's not as fast paced. It is as fast paced when it comes to the ball moving, but it's not as fast-paced as basketball or football when it comes to scoring, and that's where a lot of people lose their interest. But once you start learning about the game, it becomes more interesting, because you're not just thinking about, they haven't had a goal in 5 minutes. You learn the intricacies of soccer. EOU football hosts College of Idaho on Saturday. It's a night game. It's a 6 o'clock game. Those games are fun, and this is a huge game for the Mounties. They're 2-0. They lead the Frontier Conference, which if you would have asked me 2 months ago if the Mounties would be undefeated in the Frontier Conference and leading it at this point in the season, I would have said probably not. But they've figured it out. The defense has been playing spectacular. They shut Southern down last weekend, only gave up 1 touchdown. I want to say the last time they played C of I was in College of Idaho. It was a non-conference game, and I think they lost 21-17. But the last time the Yotes came to Eastern Oregon, the Mounties it was one of the best games I've ever been to, and the Mounties walked away with the victory. And that had been the first Mountie victory over the Yotes in 8 years. So it's going to be electric up there at Community Stadium on Saturday. I recommend you go. It's a 6 o'clock start, and I'm sure they would appreciate the support. AM Sports Report brought to you by Northwest Furniture and Mattress. They want to make you feel comfortable in your own home.
All right, good stuff, man.
Yeah.
And did you mention we're streaming the game tomorrow night? I'm sorry.
We're mentioning it right now.
Yeah, we'll hit it. Yeah, so don't. We'll talk about it also at the end. Pendleton football tomorrow night. So, all right, let's take a look outside. And man, it's a beautiful fall day. The trees are changing. It just has that fall feel. Let's take a look at that weather graphic and see what's coming up. So 62 today is not
65.
65. And looks like it's going to be, as it gets toward the weekend, it's going to be a little bit wetter.
Which is no bueno.
Yeah.
And we want it to be dry during the game.
Yeah.
Saturday showers, Sunday shower. Sunday doesn't matter quite as much, but
yeah,
it might be a rainy one up there on Saturday evening.
Yep. All right. Well, hey, glad you guys are here with us. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be back with LeGrand Police Chief Gary Bell. All right, we're back. Chief Gary Bell, how are you, man?
I'm well, thank you. How about you guys?
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Glad that you were here, and we had a rousing conversation before we ever got online.
Certainly did.
Yeah, we solved all of the world's problems, or at least identified quite
I
a
was
few.
just going to say, I think we identified a few, but I'm not sure about the solutions. But we're still working on them.
Yeah, that's
I was
right.
listening to you guys talk about screen time and things like that, and I was sitting there thinking, I've got in trouble for that a few times in my
I'm sure
house.
you have.
Yeah.
I mean,
Get off your phone.
That's it's like, and I read stuff about that. How it can really cause problems with relationships because it's like people you substitute screen time where you're kind of absent from real life, interaction with people that matter, and so I think it's important. We all know it, but it's kind of addicting,
It
to
is.
That instant, whatever it is you're looking for,
It's definitely going to affect kids, and we see it already, their ability to socialize.
Oh boy, yeah.
I can't imagine like some of the stuff, we always tell this story. My son was talking to this girl, and they were talking, and he's like, "Yeah, Dad, I like her," and I was like, "Oh, well, when did you hang out with her?" And he goes, I never have. We just talk on Instagram, and they went to the same school.
Well, I always laugh because there's some of us that remember when we would go downtown and cruise.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way that you could interact.
That's how you knew where the party was. That's where where all the cute girls would be.
You have conversations and you build relationships with your peers and things like that because some of us remember party telephone lines at home, so you couldn't talk on the phone all the time.
My aunt
and
had
now
one when we moved here.
Yeah. But now professionally, I'm okay with cruising being gone, because it makes the police officers' lives a lot better.
It was such a great activity though, as long as people were doing it within the confines of the law, obviously. For just social,
some of your viewers will remember, I suspect, but there was a time in downtown LeGrand, Adams Avenue, that it was 4 lanes.
Yeah.
That was really problematic for law enforcement.
A little bit of racing
There
going
was just
on.
a little bit of racing from time to time.
Was there
sure
no
there
parking,
was.
or the parking was all?
It was.
How did it even fit
Well,
for-
when they changed this when the highway department changed it to
What
just
year
one
did
lane.
they change that?
What,
You remember off
the
the top?
sidewalks were narrower, and now the big piece, I think, that's the significant change in terms of real estate on the street is, if some of your viewers may remember this, there was no center turn lane.
That's right.
Oh,
So you had 2 lanes going each direction, and if you were going to make a turn across traffic, you had to do that from the inside lane.
Right.
And so with the addition of, it was also diagonal parking instead of parallel parking downtown. But the sidewalks were widened, and then there was the creation of the center turn lane to what we have right now.
yeah.
Do you remember when that happened? Or close? Mid-90s?
Man, I can't
Is
remember
it
what I
that
had
long?
for lunch yesterday sometimes.
Because I feel like I remember it, and I didn't move here till 91. But I might be just making that up in my head.
I can't remember for sure. I just know that it was a pretty lengthy project. I mean, and the cement out here is deep. I mean, I can remember watching that happen and being pretty impressed with how deep that
Oh,
cement-
Jerry says 1983.
Nice job,
Jerry
Jerry.
Hopkins says 19. I mean, what were you in 1983?
Well,
Jerry,
that's
about
because
6?
some of those guys like Jerry are much older than me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, he might have sped up his coffee just about then.
Well, and what a lot of people don't know is that, I mean, there's tunnels and stuff under the sidewalks. I mean, that's not so. I mean, when they do construct, and even now when they work on sidewalks or stuff in downtown, there are places where it's hollow underneath. You
Yeah.
know, because that used to be kind of a. I mean, if you wanted to offload something, a truck would
Right.
pull up and it would slide down a ramp into
Yeah,
their basement.
That's
and-
correct. Yeah, there's a lot of places. I think as community members, we just don't pay attention to that stuff. But if you're looking for it, we still have a number of locations where there's steel doors in
Right,
the sidewalk.
right, yeah.
Those can open up, and there's ramps.
Red Cross Drugs.
Yeah,
out in
right,
front
that's
right
right,
there.
yeah.
on
Yep,
the-
yep, right outside of Benchwarmers, there's one.
Yep,
Yeah, so that was the way that things, people received commerce and things back in the day. But yeah, interesting
Now
stuff.
they just block the street downtown.
Yeah, just park wherever.
Oh, that
Don't worry.
pisses me off. You're going downtown and a delivery truck just is parked right in the street. It's like, come on, dude. I
Yeah.
get it. There's not a lot of places to park, but
Yeah.
I mean, when I first moved back, I delivered beer around here in one
Yeah.
of the big trucks, and you can always find a way to not block the whole road. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like,
Sure. Yeah.
Yep. Well, hey, so big news, huh? Big
Yeah,
news.
let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Yeah, so those, so you announced your retirement last week, right?
I did.
Yeah.
So it's a big change for
Yeah.
me.
I mean, and we've been talking about that for a
Right.
while, but I kind of got the idea that it was like a little bit down the. I mean,
Yeah,
on the
so-
horizon, but a little bit down the road.
Yeah, I think it's, I'm talking to a lot of people in the community about this now.
Yeah.
But there's not a particular reason why I'm choosing to retire now or in the spring. My wife and I, family, we've been talking about this for months, probably for about the last year or so.
Yeah.
And then the pace of the topic kept coming up more and more, and then it's just like, it is time. And as I've shared before, I've had some really incredible mentors, both professionally and personally, throughout my life. And one of the things, a lot of things have stuck with me that was shared with me. And one of those relevant to this is that I've had people specifically in the chief of police role here in other locations is, Gary, you'll know when it's time.
Oh, yeah.
And here's the thing. I mean, let me preface what I'm about to say by saying that I have not a single regret about my career choice. it truly has been what I feel is the honor of a lifetime, you know, to have the privilege to serve this community, you know, as a police officer in the role that I've had, the different capacities within the department, the men and women of the department, and alongside some really incredible people and professionals, even outside the police department. Wouldn't change a thing. But, you know, 32 years, and here's the thing, I don't want to have anybody think I'm broken, because I'm not, but I'm tired.
Yeah.
You know, and, you know, contrary to what some might think, you know, my job's a pretty stressful job.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of stuff to worry about all the time, and it's not that I'm worried about, you know, the staff, you know, out doing anything wrong, but, you know, I have a lot of restful nights, or unrest.
Restless.
In my restless nights is what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say.
I'm sure.
And it comes with the territory, you know, and I think it's because I care, you know. I have never, in any capacity in my life, it's just not within me to, you know, occupy a space. So I'm very much engaged in what's going on, but it takes its toll.
Yeah,
and so, you know, my wife and I have been married for 1 year longer than what I've served the community and the police department. And she tells me, it's like, you know, I've ridden this train right along with you, Gary. And I have my health, and it's time for the next chapter in life. And it's going to be tough, because essentially for my entire adult life, for the most part, this is all I've done.
Right.
And it's just, honestly, it's just wonderful. Do I know how to not be a police officer? Not really.
Right.
But I'm going to give it a go. And I plan on doing something on the side. I don't know exactly what that is. So if any of your viewers are looking for a washed-up police chief that they'd like to hire up,
like a bodyguard. Yeah.
yeah.
Like a hunting guide or something?
No, what I tell people is, as long as I'm not responsible for a whole bunch of people, and I can just, you know, deal with my problems alone, I'm
Right.
in. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope that doesn't sound too rough, but it's just time, and I think the department is positioned well to move into the future. And, you know, we've had a lot of great leaders before my tenure in the department, and I think that, you know, I've taken what was provided to me, and I firmly believe that I've made some improvements, and we'll turn it over to the next generation.
Yeah. How long have you been chief now?
In the spring it'll be 6 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. But before that, if you might remember, I moved into administration in the police department in 2017.
Okay. Yeah.
So, you know, if the opportunity to serve in administration and as the chief of police has probably lengthened my career some. I mean, I served alongside some really incredible police officers at the police department that retired a little earlier than me. Because, I mean, the shift work, you know, our officers and dispatchers, our sergeants that are out there, you know, working night shift. I mean, that's, as one, we all love it, you know, that's part of the gig, you know, but that shift work, you know, I suspect some of your viewers know people that do shift work, nurses, you know,
Right.
fit that category. And a lot of people do it because there's aspects of it that they enjoy, and that was me. I enjoyed shift work, but it takes its toll on you as well. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Jerry said that he has a job for you.
What's he got?
Loveland Safe Ride driver.
Yeah, tell him to give me a call.
Yeah, there it is, Jerry. He says the phone is open.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's it, you know. And, you know, Brent, we had talked earlier, and I didn't know how long.
Right, yeah.
You know, I was eligible to retire. You know, this is a PERS job that I'm in. I was eligible to retire. Police and fire in the state of Oregon have the eligibility to retire what they call early. But I was eligible to retire like 5 years ago. But so what? I love my job. I still love my job. I felt like I was still doing something to contribute to the community, and as long as that relationship, you know, was still there, as long as the community felt like that I was providing a service that was beneficial to the community, and it was also working for me, I feel it's like I didn't know. I never have had like man, the day that I
Right.
turned such and such an age, or, you know, I didn't really feel like I had an expiration or anything, but always kind of knew. You know, I read a lot, I listen a lot, and I've just soaked in a lot of things over the years, and learning from others is something that that I have found to be a real valuable, you know, trait. And
Right.
and I've listened to people, and I remember as a young police officer, much earlier in my life, you know, people telling me, you know, be here a lot quicker than you think.
Yeah.
And also thinking it's like, whatever, you know, I'm 24 years old, you know, invincible.
Yeah.
But time really does go very quickly, you know. Maybe in the moment it's not, because you're wore out, you're tired, there's a lot of things going on. But if you reflect on, when I reflect on the last 3 decades, I have no idea where it went.
Yeah.
You know, and I loved it, and I'd do it again. You know, but it's just one of those things that, you know, to respond to what you said, we've talked before, and you were maybe surprised about. Really, already?
Yeah.
You know, it's just one of those things where it's just time. You know, and sometimes I'll share with my wife, and I don't want this to sound like there's lack of peace, but I will share with my wife that it's like, you know, I'm ready for peace.
Yeah.
And you know, there's probably a lot that goes into what that actually means, but I deal with a lot of conflict. I mean,
All the
people
time.
don't contact the police or seek out the police when they're having a good day.
Yeah.
And that's been one of the greatest rewards of the job is, you know, can we do something in some manner to aid or help someone, even if it's not what they're asking for, you know, to make some kind of a positive impact. But the truth is that our police officers, myself included, and you guys know this, but our officers, you know, they provide a service, and they want to. They're driven to do that. I mean, people choose to do this line of work, but they provide a service that exposes them to things in life and that are associated with humanity, whether we like it or not, that are things that your average person, as they move through life, are not exposed to.
Right.
And the traumas and, you know, things like child abuse and sex abuse of all ages and hardship, and it builds up
Yeah.
officers. And, you know, we're doing a better job today. I think we've talked about this before, as an industry and within the police department. We're doing a better job than we've ever done in terms of recognizing how can we take care of, we know all about taking care of the physicality of our police officers and maintaining health that way, and the training and honing people's skill sets, you know, so physically, you know, we set them up for success. But we're really just breaking the ground and making strides in how do we take care of our officers and our first responders, our dispatchers, our EMS responders, mentally, you know, because there's a lot of things that go in there. If you think about, it's like the sights, the sounds, the smells, there's a lot of stuff, you know, and so when I say I'm looking for peace,
Right.
I'm excited to just move into a chapter in life where I can just be Joe Citizen.
Yeah.
You know, I love this community. Marianne and I are not planning on going anywhere, but it can be a change for me, for sure.
One of the things that people deal with, and athletes as well, is like the finding the new identity. You know,
Yeah.
especially after you've done something as long as you have. Do you have like some things put into place? Like, are you you know, being proactive about that so you don't go through a period of like, you know what I mean? I don't know what to do.
Yeah. So I think the first thing is just awareness.
I agree.
And there's been a number of generations of, and I think that there's other, like you said, athletes, other occupations where this is a very real impact in people's lives. But we've been aware of it in law enforcement for some time, about trying to work towards not making your identity what your occupation is. And I realized that there's very few people that know me and don't associate with Gary is the police chief.
Yes.
But here's the truth is, my wife and I are as much in love as we today as we ever have been, and that relationship is sound. And so, I mean, I'm looking forward to, you know, being able to just provide some, and it's not, I don't want to have you guys think that I've neglected my wife. I most certainly haven't. She wouldn't allow it.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm really looking forward to, here's the thing, and I think maybe I've said this to you guys before, I'm leaving it all on the field. So I'm not going to have any regrets. I'm going to miss people.
Right.
I'm going to miss the men and women at the office, the professional partners I interact with, a lot of the interactions within the community in my capacity as the police chief. But I've done it, you know, and so I'm really looking forward to switching gears.
Right.
Marianne has lots of things lined up for me to do. There's been projects around the house that, you know, I just haven't been able to get to because of, you know, time, and sometimes you just don't feel up to it, you know, because you're mentally kind of wore out. But there, I don't know exactly, Kyle, what, I'm going to do something on the side, you know. My mindset is, look, I'm retired. And so, like I said, there's a few things. I'm not looking to
start a new career.
I'm not going to go be the police chief somewhere else.
Right.
I mean, I love this community, and so everything that I have, in the vein of my professional ability to serve, you know, in law enforcement as the police chief is, I've given that to this community. So I'm not seeking more pay as a police chief somewhere else. I mean, the truth is, 32 years of service with the same agency is pretty rare.
Yeah.
But this is home.
Right.
And so I don't feel like, look at what I've done. I feel an immense blessing to have had the opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
And I shared with the city council, if am I going too long on
Go
this?
right.
No, go.
I shared with the city council in a letter when I let them know about my upcoming retirement that I joked earlier about my memory, but I got a pretty robust memory. I remember things. And when I was done with college and I had firmly decided I wanted to become a police officer, I tested with LeGrand Police Department. And initially, I didn't think I wanted to work in LeGrand. I grew up here. I have no idea why I thought that. It was wrong thinking.
But kids commonly think that.
That for one reason or
Yeah.
the other, I thought I needed
Right,
to go
yeah.
somewhere else. I tested with a couple of other agencies in the Pacific Northwest, wasn't hired. There was an opening here. I tested for it, honestly thinking, because I had been coached that, you know, testing in this line of work, that, you know, selection process, the more you do it, the better you get at it. Oral board interviews, things like that.
Yeah.
And so I thought, hey, it can't hurt, right? I tested. I was not hired, but I was contacted by the lieutenant at the time. I knew him through family because our families had attended the same church at one point in time. And he asked me if I would be interested in the police reserve program. And I gave that some thought. And but during the period of time that I was thinking about that, I knew a couple of people that were police officers with LeGrand, and they stopped and talked to me. And I set up a ride-along, and I got to know some of the officers, and I was hooked. I mean, it was the way that they conducted themselves, the way they communicated with me and amongst themselves. So I became a reserve police officer in August of 1993, and all that did was solidify that, I mean, this is what I want to do, and this is where I want to be. And, you know, I had tested, and I can remember telling my wife, telling my family, if they would just give me a chance. I'd prove to them that they made the right choice. All I need is a chance. Because I had one of the things that the lieutenant at that time told me, it's like, well, you know, one of the issues, Gary, is that you don't have a lot of life experience, and we're a little concerned that, you know, you're a bit naive. All things that are true, right? They were true. And that, you know, I hadn't used any drugs, and, you know, I'd lived a clean life. And, you know, one of the things he shared with me was, we're a little bit concerned that maybe some of the exposures that you would, you know, be exposed to, that you might be kind of shocked by it.
You were 2 squares.
I was 20. Saying. That's exactly exactly it. But my takeaway, because I knew what was inside here, and I knew what was inside here, and it's like, that may be, but I'm your guy. Just give me a chance. And I can remember saying that, and in the letter to the council, I brought that to their attention, and 32 years later, I appreciate that I was provided a chance. Mm-hmm. And I hope that, you know, my service and in some fashion I have proven that they made the right choice. Mm-hmm. And that's how I still feel today. And I'm just as thankful today as when I got the phone call. It was February. I started as a reserve in August of '93, and they had an opening in February of '94. So just
not much
short few months. Yeah. And I didn't have to test again because I was apparently on a hiring list or something. And they hired me, and I mean, I can't remember at what juncture it was, but early on, I couldn't even believe that I was getting paid to do it because I just loved doing it. And I mean, of course, I learned a lot along the way, and I feel like where I have moved to in the career that I am now and what I provide to the community, I mean, I'm really standing on the shoulders of a lot of people before me. And I'm not that smart of a guy, but a lot of people have really brought me along and shared information, and like I said, I've listened, so there's been a lot of things I haven't had to learn the hard way. Some I have, but you know, I just feel like it's just an entire and huge blessing to be able to have served people in some capacity that's larger than myself. So, but it's time. And as much as it seems kind of like an ending or sad or whatever, but it's like, you know, I think any of us, it's like, I believe that it's important that it's like, you know, to recognize that, because I'm not that guy that can just check out and be retired on the job. I'm not going to do that. Right. But I can see and sense and feel things in myself that it's just time for a change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nikki Hansen says, we appreciate you, Chief. Cody says, congratulations, Gary. I'm going to miss your sense of calm and willingness to always listen. You've always been for me, from issuing me my first MIP at age 17 to being a deputy and now sheriff. You have been a constant man I can always lean on. I'll miss you, sir.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going anywhere. So.
Well, yeah. Well, so that would be my first question. Like, don't you have grandkids like in other areas? So I wouldn't hate you for leaving. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I get it.
No, those are things that my wife and I have thought about, right?
Absolutely.
But here's the thing. I have family here too. Right. And, you know, my parents are here.
Yeah, your mom and dad.
Yep, you know, my parents are here, and a lot of people in the community know my family. And, you know, the truth is that the successes that I have had in life, really, it's like, man, I've just had a lot of support from family and people that really matter, a lot of people. And, you know, I don't want to leave. I mean, this is home still, you know. Right, and, you know, my wife and I, you know, have a home here in LeGrand, the same one, you know, since early in our marriage. And we love life here, you know. And I don't know exactly what it's going to look like, but I fully expect that I'm going to continue in some way to do something to support the community, and maybe I can even do some things that right now I don't have time to do.
Yeah, because you have a busy job.
Yeah. So.
Well, we were not We were not totally surprised to hear, because we hear a lot of stuff
Yeah.
that never makes the light of day until
Yeah.
it's official. You know, it's so
Sure.
funny because sometimes I'll have somebody will say, okay, well, this is off the record. And it's like, you don't understand, you know, 3/4 of what we hear is off the record, and it stays that way.
Or we already heard that like 3 months ago. you know?
Yeah, but
It's
we
off
get,
the record.
but we never repeat or never publish something that we don't, you know, have some, especially if we know that somebody doesn't want it released. They're wanting. I mean, we're just not that. Sorry, we're not that news agency, guys. You know, if you're looking for that, then there are other people out there that want that
The
kind of
National
stuff.
Enquirer.
Yeah. But what my first thought was, wow, he's going to be hard to replace, and I'll tell you why, and that is because you are super unique in the sense that you're a hometown kid, and so that you love LeGrand, but at the same time you have been a tremendous professional. I mean, the way that you carry yourself, the poise, the way you communicate, the way, I mean, if somebody met you, they wouldn't pick, the first thing they're not going to pick up is that you're a hometown kid. And that is a testament to you just being a very professional person.
Yeah.
And I love that, you know.
Well, thank you very much.
I think if you look up like integrity in the dictionary, there's probably a picture of you. Like seriously.
Is it one from when I had hair still? You know, a big old frock of hair.
That's.
Yeah.
But I've been racking my brain like, what jobs could Chief Bell do? And this keeps resonating in my head. I think maybe you should get involved in like coaching baseball.
You know, I did some of that when my kids were younger, and I really enjoyed it. I love baseball. Is
your game.
my
I know
sport
that.
of choice.
Yeah.
Except it's a little early right now. I'm kind of in grieving.
Yeah, I'm sure you are.
Yeah. So I know I don't want everybody. No, let's just go ahead and say it. I am a to the roots Yankees fan. So I know some of y'all might not like me because I'm a Yankees fan, but I love the Yankees, and I have since I was a child. I absolutely am disgusted with the way that the Yankees organizationally. But look, that's true fan work. It's like I'm still going to stick with it. But I love the game of baseball. So, you know, I'm not shutting the door on anything. You know, we'll see. We'll see what happens. You know, you guys know that for a very, very long time, I have a lot of personal opinions. I have beliefs, but I have taken very serious what I believe, you know, has been my charge in this role, you know, being a steward of the public trust and being the police chief for everyone in the community. And I don't subscribe to, you know, my professionalism and what I see that as being, and my responsibilities is, you know, I don't participate in partisanship. It's not because I don't have a heart or I don't care or I don't have a mind about those things, but it's like I just don't think that I could provide or serve in the fullest, most appropriate capacity for the community if people saw Gary, you know, really leaning this way or that way. But what I'm about to say is that I don't want people to be alarmed because Gary's filter is going to all of a sudden get loose, you know, here at the end of my tenure. But what I'm going to tell you is that I have a very deep belief in God and a relationship that way, and so that drives me in a lot of the things that I do and the way that I do them. And I know that may not be for everyone, but that's for me, and so. I think that, you know, doors will open. We'll see what happens.
Is this like a short introduction to a political career?
Oh man, you guys, somebody check on me if I do that.
Okay, all right. I was like, is that in the book? Is that maybe? You know, like.
Yeah, no, I.
It's just as stressful as being.
You know, I never. Yeah, right. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. You know, I got some irons in the fire, but I'm disgusted by the politics in our nation right now, and I don't know if, I think that probably a lot of people are much like me. I care about people and human beings, and I see how passionate people are, but I think that we got to rise above some of this, you know. I mean, because if you look at the big picture, which is oftentimes in my professional role, that's what I have to do is I have to look at the big picture and not get into the weeds on some things, because it's like I got to be thinking about now, but also tomorrow and next week and next month, and how things impact us from a bigger picture perspective. Yeah. And I think that's what's lost on, you know, a lot of these discussions. It's like people, this back and forth and the arguing. It's like I don't know how, other than it's going to take a lot of people getting involved that have the right mindset, that we have to find that decorum again, and we have to find that common ground and decency and respect for each other. And when you're acting in certain ways, that's just never going to happen. Right. You know, just because you feel like it, or it seems like the right thing to say at the moment, that's probably not going to, in the long term, benefit anybody. I mean, it might feel like a win, but, you know, I mean, there's too much at stake. I mean, I love this community, but our nation too. I mean, I'm a very patriotic person, and really it all boils down to what really matters to us as human beings and in our lives. It's like, don't we all have very similar wants, needs, and desires? And I mean, so much of the rest of it, it's gut-wrenching to me to see what a lot of our elected leaders, you know, the way they're conducting themselves, because it's not serving our common good. That's so I'm not, you guys, I know I go out, I'm out on a limb here today. But you guys are like, let's get Gary on more, because we're going to hear some stuff.
No, I cannot wait until we can have you on
February, March.
Yes. No, for real. Like I where we can talk about stuff that we can't talk about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You guys know that it's like, look, I don't have secrets. You know, I tell you, I tell people the way it is, but I'm also going to, and I hope people don't think that it's like, oh, Gary's just trying to be politically correct. No, that's not it. It's just that I understand how delicate things are in terms of, I'm not trying, I might have to tell you something that you don't like to hear, but I want to do it in such a way that I don't cause you to just be offended or upset and lose sight of what we're actually dealing with or what we're talking about.
Which is really easy to do.
Yes, but I'm more of the mind that it's like, you know, you and I can disagree, but let's talk about it. Let me explain to you why I believe what I believe, or why something is the way that it is. I'll listen to you, and we may not be able to come together where we're both on that same sheet of music, but, you know, when we're done, we can go have coffee together.
Right.
Because I still have respect for you, because even though I don't agree with you or I don't see it your way, I have respect for you and the way that you do business and the way that you communicate with me. What's wrong with that?
Right.
I think that's healthy.
Yeah. Well, and I think that describes local. That describes Eastern Oregon.
Right.
When you talk about the mind-boggling idiocracy that is outside of politically, that is outside of the valley, and the way people treat each other, that is dizzying. I'm so thankful that we're still grounded here.
But we got to be careful.
It is. But even, you know, even in our commissioners and even in our police chief, and, you know, those, you know, there are times when politics makes its way in, you know, and it's ugly. But for the most part, people still have this common thing that they care about LeGrand and they care about Eastern Oregon, and that brings them together. You know, and I mean, and that's why I love local stuff. You know, and I mean, you know, ran for commissioner, thought about doing that again. But when, you know, for those people that have gone from being a commissioner to like a state representative, I have no interest whatsoever, because it's just a whole different realm. I mean, it's ugly and nasty.
I've talked to a number of people that have done that, and and it can be difficult,
Yeah.
you know, because they have all the best of intentions, and they find that systemically,
Yeah.
it's just a stalemate.
Yeah.
You know, they're very defeating.
So I want to come back to retirement for
Yeah,
a
let's
minute,
do it.
because there's some things that I've experienced too, and that is that there are times, I mean, as you certainly, and I've talked about this a bunch, as you get older, you become more entitled. It's just a natural thing. It's like I paid my dues, you know, and you want to be pampered, and so I mean you've earned those rights, and some of that is natural, and I totally understand. But part of what I feel time is that I want to do something that I love.
Yeah.
I mean, at some point you get to this place where it's like, this feels like it's more work. You know, you talked about when you first started, you were like, I can't believe I get paid to do this thing that I love, you know. And through your life as you progressed into administration and those tasks have changed, I'm sure you've continued to feel that. But there is a place where it's like, there's just not as much joy as there used to be.
Yeah, Brent, I think we change.
Yeah.
You know?
Right,
I mean,
yeah.
as human beings, I think we, you know,
And I feel
I
that.
joke
That's the point,
sometimes,
yeah.
you know, that I'm not the smartest, you know, guy around or the sharpest tool in the shed, but I think a lot, right? I contemplate a lot of things, and I think that sometimes we're our own worst enemies because we just refuse to acknowledge what is. We change over time. I mean, everything changes.
Yeah.
Let me give you an example. I mean, when I was young, my dad has always been a fisherman. And we would go fishing, and I would fish for about 3 minutes. And then, my attention span for that was, it's like, I'm done with it, right? Crappie bass fishing was probably about my only gig, because it's like, if it was good, if it was good. But even at that, even on those days when you're catching 100 fish, I'd get wore out with it.
Squirrel.
But here, fast forward, you know, 30, 40 years, and the last couple of years, I mean, I love fishing.
You get it now.
And I have no idea why, but my wife and I will go fishing, and I can just sit there. I don't care if I catch anything or not. I'm happy, and it's just, it's peaceful to me.
Yeah, and you can check out completely.
And I mean, I see my dad grinning. It's like, what's up? What's going on with you? Because I was in Salem for work here, I don't know, 6 weeks, 2 months ago. And one evening I had gone to dinner, and then I went over to Sportsman's Warehouse and I bought a new fishing pole and a new reel, and I'm all excited about it, right? And I'm a little bummed because the weather has turned, and one of my favorite places to fish, it's like it's not fishing weather anymore. And but it's an example. It's like, I've changed. I know that the job has changed too, right? But I, as a human being, as all of us, we evolve, we change, and I think we just have to. That's where I think you have to pay attention. I think listen to ourselves, and doesn't mean that anything's wrong.
Right.
Sometimes you just have to accept. And so I have different interests now. I love my job. Still today, I love my job, but I can't do it forever.
Yeah.
You know, and that's one of the conversations Marianne and I have had, really, like, in the week running up to, this is very much not a Gary-only decision. That's not the way we do. I mean, professionally, I mean, I collaborate with decision-making, but in Gary's personal life, in my personal life, I mean, my wife and I make a lot of decisions together.
Right.
But we were talking about this, and one of the things that kept coming up, it's like, well, what's the difference between if I retire now and 2 years from now?
Right, yeah.
It's still a big change. You know, obviously, there's always the financial component of that, but again, it's the real heavy-weighted decisions are not just about the financial component for me in my role. I mean, there's some jobs, you just stick with it until the numbers line up, right?
Right.
This is not one of those jobs.
Yeah.
I mean, I just take too serious the responsibility and the pledge that I've made to the community. I'm not going to occupy the space just for a paycheck.
Yeah.
That's not ever going to happen for me. But so it's like, yeah, it's time.
And I
Do
totally
some travel
I-
and some
yeah,
fishing, different areas.
That's right. You like fishing too.
Oh,
huh?
I love
Yeah.
fishing.
Yeah.
I just don't get to do it enough.
Yep.
Well, the other thing I've noticed about me too is that the conflict, I don't shed it
Yeah.
as well as what I used to.
Yeah.
You know, so then something will happen, and I mean, when you're in business or whatever, not everything is peaceful. I mean,
No.
you're correcting and moving and personally adjusting and evaluating, and it's harder to shed than what it used
Yeah.
to be. You know?
Got a couple more comments.
Yeah.
Ginger Taylor Faro says amen to that. I'm assuming it was to something you said.
Yeah.
Justin Hernandez says, congrats, Chief. It's been an honor to work with you. I've always admired your ability to see situations from multiple angles and formulate a calculated response. Your leadership, calm demeanor, and strategic mindset have set the standard for everyone around you. Wishing you continued success in this next chapter. You've certainly earned it.
Yeah. Well, you guys know that sometimes. You guys ever known anybody? Are we running short?
We're good.
Have you guys ever known anybody that they kind of give off that persona that they have taken on the belief that? Let me just be very specific. I'm not the guy that thinks that the police department is going to fold up and close shop because Gary leaves. No, that's. But have you ever known people
Oh, yeah.
that it's like they kind of have that? It could be in athletics, it's like that this team isn't going to have any success if I'm gone, or this place is going to fail if I leave. No, I see it entirely differently. I mean, I'm a failure if I didn't do everything that I can to try to provide for the successes.
To set up the next year.
That's right.
Absolutely.
And when I, Deputy Hernandez, it's like, look, we're in good hands, right? We've got some good people that are in roles that I have served in previous, times in my career. And like I said, this is home.
Yeah. You want it to be
I
good.
want public safety, not just, our law enforcement and our 911 dispatch center, but I hope I don't, but if I need an ambulance, I know those guys and they're good people.
Yeah, that's
and
it.
I want them to be there for me or my family, and so I care. And but we're going to be in good hands. And
So-
I think that's all of us. Whatever we do in life, I think we should strive to leave things just a little bit better than we found it.
Absolutely.
Got a quick question for you
Bring
off of the comments, and I don't know how much you can say about this or what
Sure.
you can say, but Bud wants to know if there's candidates within.
Well, yes, let me tell you.
I would say 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, Lieutenant Jason Hayes is an extraordinary human being, and I have been working with him for a very long time. So he not only is qualified and eligible, we've had some conversation. I think that he may very well be interested. The city manager in city government, the way that my boss is the city manager.
Right.
So it's the city manager's decision in terms of what type of a process, how they're going to move forward. I know that he's working on that now in terms of what he believes that the city needs to do in terms of how to what type of a process, how to seek or how to move forward with the transition. I've pledged to him that, and again, I think it's my responsibility, whatever I can do to help, whatever capacity that is. I certainly am not interested in meddling in that. I think the city will make the right choice, but whatever I can do to assist. But that's part of it. Now, it doesn't always happen because sometimes people in organizations, are just not at a place in their career or maybe interest-wise. But in this case, we're very fortunate because
You got somebody that's there.
Lieutenant Hayes is. This is home to him too, right?
Right.
He's
Yeah.
he graduated from LeGrand High School. Went off and served in the Navy as a corpsman. Attended college up in Washington State for a period of time, and then they came back, and then he's been with the police department I think for 27 years, I think that's right. So I mean, an incredible human being. And what I would say is, if things at the police department were broken and we needed some significant change, I would say is like we probably need to get some outside, you know, thoughts.
Eyes, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that's the case, but I want others to, I think others need to weigh in on that. But I think that, you know, organizationally, we're doing very well. I mean, we have challenges just like any other organization or police department. But Lieutenant Hayes knows the systems. And where I'm comfortable 100% is I know that man, and I know what his value structure is, and it aligns with mine. And I know where his integrity is, and I honestly, I have 100% faith in whatever the city chooses to do in terms of how they choose to move forward, you know, to select the next leader of the police department. But I'm always, whatever, you know, for positions like this is Gary, the community member, talking. I just want to make sure that we don't hire somebody that they look really good on their resume
On paper, yeah.
and they talk really good because they've tested a whole bunch of places, but do they want to serve the community of LeGrand, and are they going to give this community and that police department what we need?
Yeah.
And I know Lieutenant Hayes, others, there could be some fantastic candidates, so you guys understand, don't get me wrong. It's like, let's be very careful.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and let me
Makes sense.
So let me ask you. This is a good opportunity. So Brian Harvey mentored you. He came in from the outside. Tell me the benefit. Help me understand the benefit that he brought in being, you know, I mean, from a historical standpoint.
Aside from
because
just
you have a unique perspective there.
Yeah. Aside from just being an incredible human being,
Right.
And you know, he has foundational values, right? And doing the right thing for the right reasons. You know, we hit the jackpot with Brian Harvey.
Yeah.
The challenge is that doesn't always happen.
Right.
You know, and so what I will tell you is, yes, and there's a lot of people in the community that know Brian. Brian and I are friends to this day.
But was he at the timing of the police department?
Mm-hmm.
Was he important to have somebody from the outside come in? Do you think? And that might not be a fair question.
Yeah, you know, I think it's a fair question, but I don't think that I'm the right person to answer that question because I was a police sergeant at the time. I wasn't involved in that decision making.
Yeah.
I will tell you that internally we had a candidate at the time, Lieutenant Derek Reddington. Derek is a 10 out of 10. Derek is one of my mentors, and I learned an incredible amount from Derek. And Derek and I just communicated last week. So, you know, that tells you something about the relationships of these people. I mean, I don't seek out communication or, let's say, advice. I talked to Derek about retirement. I don't seek that out from people that I don't hold in significant value.
Right.
Derek was certainly qualified and eligible to become. Matter of fact, Derek served as the interim police chief for a period of time. Mm-hmm. But Brian, when the decision was made to hire externally, I cannot say that was the wrong decision. Brian is an incredible human being,
right.
and he brought some really good stuff to the police department. But he also came to a police department we were strong.
Right.
I mean, we had the average tenure of the police department when Brian became the chief of police was like 10 to 15 years.
Wow.
We had a cadre of sergeants, which you guys, some of your viewers know that our sergeants, it's a lot like in the military. It's like our sergeants they're on the front, they're our leaders, they're part of the leadership team, and they're on the front lines. They're out there day in and day out. Right. And we have those leaders in the dispatch center too. But you know, we had a lot of very experienced, knowledgeable, solid sergeants. So Brian came in and he had a lot to work with, but a lot of successes there. So I can't say I don't think it'd be right, and I don't feel one way or the other that it was right or wrong what the city decided. But I'm just saying that you never really can know.
Who
it's
you're
like
gonna get.
Here's the thing: we know Lieutenant Jason Hayes is a known quantity.
Right.
I know what his capabilities are. I know what his strengths are. I know what his weaknesses are. Other candidates, in whatever selection process you do or back, you can never really, there's no possible way. I've known Lieutenant Hayes for a lifetime,
Right.
you know, and professionally for, you know, the better part of 3 decades. And, you know, so he's doing an incredible job. And if the city were to select him through a process, whatever that may be, it wouldn't be a bad decision.
Yeah.
But I'm not, that's, you guys understand, that's not my decision to make.
Right.
I just hope and I do believe that the city will make the right decision on behalf of the community, the city, and the police department as a whole.
Yeah.
And, you know, yeah.
Well, and I totally understand, because any key position that is vacated in our area, there always is a hope of, like,
Yeah.
you know, they're going to find somebody who's qualified or they wouldn't get the job. But the next thing is, like, are they going to stay? Will they value our way of life?
Right.
You know, and those 3 things they're equally
Right.
important. you know,
Right.
And
you know, I don't think you have to look any further. And I'm not being, with the fullest measure of respect. We've got, as a community, as a city, we have some experience in our fire department in
right.
hiring fire chiefs, you know, which in the public safety world, fire chief and police chief. And look what we've had in Emmett Cornford.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that the right answer is always from within.
Right.
But, you know, we now, Merle Lacey, an internal candidate, you know, has been selected to succeed Emmett, and I think it's a great choice. I'm very supportive of it. But we've had some experiences where we've hired some people that they tested super well, great, you know, work experience and resumes, not a good fit.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and so, but that doesn't mean that's the rule, because it's absolutely not. I think it's just we have to be very cognizant, because there's a lot at stake. You know, I personally, it's like I want to see the police department succeed. Our community needs the police department to be healthy and to be providing the professional service that the community needs. And and leadership is important.
Yeah.
Doug Emerson says, "Congratulations, enjoy your retirement."
Yeah. Thanks, Doug.
You
Well,
still got a few months left. Like
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm not planning on like vaporizing
so
or
it's
nothing.
in the
you know?
spring. You're officially retiring in the spring, right?
Yeah, March 31st
Okay.
is the
March
plan
31st.
last day.
Yeah.
You
So
gave a lot of notice.
Well, I mean, but a lot of that is, you know, my role is, it'd be kind of dirty pool if I said 2 weeks notice, I'm out.
Yeah, it would be.
You know,
And it just shows how much you care too.
yeah. So
Like-
what I wanted to do was just ensure that there's adequate time to, you know, make decisions about what is the process moving forward, what's that look like, advertising for that, whatever that looks like, conducting any sort of selection process, and those things take time. And then, you know, hey, if something is identified earlier than March 31st, great. You know, whatever that looks like.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure that I didn't want to leave the community or the department in the lurch, you know?
yeah. Well, thank you, Gary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're very welcome.
We're going to talk again.
So good.
Yeah, anytime.
And when
Can I give you a couple plugs, though, real
Yes.
quick? We talked a lot.
Plug it up.
This is my worst. I hate you. We talked all day about me.
I know,
And I don't
know,
like it.
I know.
But this coming Saturday, Safeway parking lot, 10 a.m., 2 p.m., drug take back.
Drug back, take back.
Drug
I've
take
seen
back.
it, yeah.
And hey, we'd love to see people there. I'm going to be down there. But no sweat if you can't make it. The lobby of the PD, Red Cross Drug, Grand Ronde Hospital, Safeway Pharmacy, you can drop that stuff anytime.
So just to explain to the people too, real fast, that's where they take back prescription drugs that
Yep.
are outdated or that
Yep.
you no longer need.
Unwanted, unneeded, expired. What a lot of times it's you've had a loved one, a family member, and you're cleaning out a house or an apartment, and they've
Right.
got that proverbial hallway closet that is chock full of
Yeah.
all of these pills.
Yeah.
Don't put them in the garbage. Don't put them in the toilet. Bring them down to us at Safeway. We don't count them. We don't do anything. You just throw them right in the box, totally anonymous. If you can't make it, you can come and do that 24 hours a day at the lobby at the PD. Or
should they be concerned about removing the ID and stuff off of the prescription bottles?
No, we have markers there. If they're concerned about that, they can scratch it. But it's like, what I can tell you, here's what happens with it. When the day's over, or even when we empty our box, we don't go through it. We seal it up,
send it off,
and then the DEA incinerates it. It's gone.
Just like it is.
Just like it is, the packaging and everything. So
that's good.
Yeah, that's a good thing. I wanted to make sure that people were reminded. And I can't champion enough what we do for Halloween in LeGrand. And so you guys know the downtown event sponsored by Main Street.
Yeah, next Friday night.
Yep, it's actually on Halloween this year, Friday. You don't like it?
No, I love it.
Yeah,
but we happen to have
football.
2 football games.
And it's like my favorite event.
Yeah, but at 4:30 to 6.
Yeah.
Does that conflict?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, it's going to.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. But
bummed out.
People probably know, but I like to champion that because it is a wonderful, it's things like that to me that it's like, you want to talk about signature stuff, that's LeGrand. I've been to some big cities where they do a trunk or treat thing. It's not like ours.
Right.
This is good stuff.
Yeah,
and I love seeing the costumes and families dressing up, and it's
my favorite.
Professionally, for me, it's safe. It's safe for the kids because they're not out in the dark neighborhoods. The streets are closed, so we don't have to worry about the traffic stuff.
Right.
So I just encourage people to take advantage of it.
It's the best event in LeGrand.
love
That's
it.
my own personal.
And shout out for Shop with a Cop real quick.
It's coming.
Yeah.
December. Lieutenant Hayes talk about stuff that man does, but he's been spearheading that program for a super long time.
Yeah.
When was the last time you actually did it?
Shop with a Cop?
With a kid, yeah.
I do it every year.
Oh, you do? So you've gotten to do it every year. Okay,
I wouldn't miss it. I mean, I'd have to be ill or something, because
I thought I
love it
for sure. I don't know if you're.
It's one of my favorite
being
things.
the chief, if you could get away, But I'm glad.
I mean, I'm busy, but there's some things I have to make time for it.
I get it.
Yeah.
100%.
It's funny. Several years ago, I pulled into Walmart to do something, and there's all of this law enforcement, and I thought, there is something bad going down. I mean, for this many cops to be at Walmart,
bad, awesome.
Bad. And I realized bad, awesome. Yeah.
Because people, we talk about it, but we get to shop with those kids. We get to sit there and have lunch with them. If they don't have a Christmas tree, we get a Christmas tree at home for them. Most years, I can't remember how long ago it's been since we haven't done this, but they get a new coat, gloves, stuff like that. And we got like a little backpack that's got all kinds of cool stuff in it for them. And it's a special day.
It's a mutually beneficial thing, too.
Oh, boy.
It's not just beneficial for the kid. It's beneficial for you guys as well. But the kid, maybe 10 years down the line, just the memory of that makes his first interaction, with a police officer, whether it be good or bad.
Well, and you guys know this, but this goes in terms of a lot of things. We wish we could do it with every kid.
Right.
We just can't. But we do what we can, and who can't use a little goodness in their life?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So anyway, thank you guys.
Yeah, well, as you get closer to retirement, let us help you celebrate.
Okay.
I mean, if things are coming up, and you can
Sounds
tell Marianne and your family that, hey, give me a call.
We'll
We'll help get the word out. So
Let's get this.
want to get us out of here?
Let's do it. On this day, October 23rd, 1850, the first U.S. National Women's Rights Convention opens in Brinley Hall in Massachusetts. 1923, on this day, a U.S. patent is issued to American inventor Sebastian Hinton for a playground climbing structure popularly known as monkey bars. 1941, on this day, Walt Disney's animated film Dumbo is released. 1956, the first video recording on magnetic tape is televised coast to coast. 1981, man, this is crazy. The U.S. national debt officially hits $1 trillion for the first time. 1981, that was a lot of money. I mean, if you think about what $1 trillion is today.
Yeah, and now it's like 13 trillion.
Yeah, I
or
don't
something.
even know
Yeah.
what it is. But 2018, the world's oldest intact shipwreck, an ancient Greek vessel that was 2,400 years old, is found by archaeologists at the bottom of the Black Sea. The number one song in America on this day in 1985, "We Built This City" by Starship. And the quote of the day comes from Maddie Jenkins. Live life to the fullest because it only happens once. One more time. Live life to the fullest because it only happens once.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you, Gary.
Glad to be here, guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
Have a good day.
Oh,
Yeah.
tomorrow night, Pendleton versus Ontario. It's their homecoming. It'll be live streamed right here on EOA Live. We'll go live at about 6:50-ish. Yeah, and so tune in if you want to watch some Pendleton and Ontario football.
Yep. See you soon.